Red Bull is one of the teams that placed the most confidence in the new technical regulations that will come into effect, starting with the Barcelona round, especially concerning McLaren. The performance of the MCL39 will be under close scrutiny, as the British team has been one of those pushing the limits of aerodynamic flexibility in recent months. Given this scenario, will we see an intense battle for the Drivers' Championship? And if that battle unfolds, how will McLaren, which is already facing challenges managing its two drivers, handle the pressure? There are still many doubts regarding how the cars will behave under the new technical directive, which aims to eliminate any flex in the front wings. This issue was raised with the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile by both Red Bull and Ferrari, two teams that believe McLaren has used alternative methods to build a car that does not fully comply with the sporting code. However, the governing body opted not to declare any car illegal, choosing instead to amend the regulations starting from the Spanish Grand Prix. Red Bull believes the MCL39 will suffer a significant performance drop, arguing that the car generates excessive aerodynamic downforce due to the flexibility of its front wing. The Austrian team, in turn, is working hard to bring updates that could help them pursue a fifth Drivers' Championship with Max Verstappen. After 3 Grands Prix and 1 sprint race, the Dutch driver sits just 1 point behind Lando Norris in the standing. Speaking about expectations for Barcelona, Christian Horner stated that there is still great uncertainty about how the new technical directive will impact each car on the grid. According to him, the operational window of the current cars is extremely narrow, and the change to the front wing is quite significant, making it interesting to observe which teams will be most affected. Nevertheless, Horner assured that Red Bull knows exactly which areas need improvement and is fully focused on them. In his view, the 2025 championship will be decided by whoever best seizes the opportunities that arise throughout the season. There is a particular area where McLaren stands out clearly over Red Bull and the rest of the grid: tire management. The Woking-based team excels in this skill, regardless of track conditions, whether under high or mild temperatures. However, at Suzuka, there was a slight drop in performance. Andrea Stella mentioned that he preferred the old surface of the circuit, but guaranteed that this issue would be addressed in upcoming upgrade packages. Even with the most dominant cars so far this season, McLaren does not intend to relax for the remainder of the 2025 championship. Andrea Stella also commented on the new oversight that will begin in Barcelona, affecting not only the front wing but also the rear wing. It is important to remember that the mini DRS phenomenon was first observed in the MCL39 during last year's Baku Grand Prix. Discussing the necessary changes and their impacts on car performance, Stella said that no significant modifications will be needed at the start of the season. Only from the 9th race onward will small adjustments be required. Despite the debate surrounding this issue, McLaren believes that there are other, more pressing factors, such as the relentless pursuit of tenths of a second. Stella made this work sound simple but emphasized that it is extremely technical and challenging. Zak Brown and the team principal highlighted that McLaren has undergone a major mindset shift since the beginning of 2025. This new attitude means that the team must refine its strategy, taking into account the competitiveness and talent of its two drivers. With the right mentality, these challenges can be quickly overcome. Zak Brown also stated that the team is not just making minor tweaks, as the 2025 car is indeed very strong. Some elements of the current project involve significant risk. According to him, the goal now is to surpass all rivals, unlike in 2024, when the objective was merely to keep up. The main focus remains the new technical directive coming into force in Barcelona. Red Bull believes that two teams still benefit from the mini DRS phenomenon, while McLaren takes advantage of the flexibility of its front wing. For this reason, they brought in Yuki Tsunoda to help capture as much data as possible before introducing the first major upgrade package. In the past, Max Verstappen has shown that he does not need the fastest car on the grid to win championships. In 1982 and 1983, even with the third-best car, he achieved results comparable to legends like Keke Rosberg and Nelson Piquet. This proves that if Red Bull manages to maintain a gap of about 1 or 2 tenths to McLaren, they will be in a strong position to compete for the title. Regarding the expected updates, the main goal is to provide greater stability to the car. Red Bull's current model operates within a very narrow performance window, and often it is Verstappen's extraordinary talent that compensates for these limitations. The fact that the Dutch driver has scored all the team's points in 2025 highlights how crucial his performance is. It might be unfair to criticize them for building the project around him. The four-time world champion stated that there is still a lot to be extracted from the RB21, as the team has achieved only about 25% of the progress needed to solve the aerodynamic balance issue. Verstappen explained that they are well aware of the car's current limitations and need to push against them. Although a definitive solution has not yet been found, he believes it will happen soon, even without a set deadline. The challenge lies in finding the ideal balance, something that is very sensitive at the moment. Last year, the team managed to correct faults without major losses in lap time. Now, they need to make the new car even better. On circuits measuring 5.5 kilometers and featuring over 20 corners, finding a few hundredths in each section can make all the difference. Red Bull needs to extract more speed and provide better stability so that the drivers can attack with greater confidence. The team's main goal remains unchanged: to win a fifth World Drivers' title. After the solid performance in Suzuka, there is a sense that Red Bull might be returning to strong contention. To achieve this, it is crucial to bring updates that widen the car's operating window and allow Verstappen to be more aggressive. Another important factor is the point sharing between Norris and Piastri, something that could favor the Dutch driver. Verstappen's experience could be decisive in winning several races this season. However, McLaren insists that they will not be affected by the new regulations starting in Barcelona. If this is confirmed, Red Bull could face a difficult path ahead. It is also important to mention that Helmut Marko has given the team a 5-race deadline to introduce effective updates. Beyond that point, any delay could compromise the team's objectives for the 2025 season. The challenge they face is immense. Verstappen himself joked that if he were in the rival car, he would disappear from the grid without anyone being able to follow. Red Bull also acknowledges that losing key personnel, such as Rob Marshall, who moved to McLaren, directly impacted their performance. Helmut Marko believes that McLaren's culture is one of the strongest ever seen in Formula One history, considering that the RB19 was one of the most dominant cars ever built. Therefore, facing a team that has absorbed so much technical knowledge represents one of Red Bull's greatest challenges, even with a driver as talented as Verstappen. With all that in mind, do you think the new regulations in Barcelona will be decisive for the performance of the MCL 39? And if not, could this be Red Bull's last opportunity to catch up with Norris and Piastri and fight for the Drivers' Championship? Leave your opinion in the comments below and click on the video appearing on your screen right now.